If you are 18 to, let's say, 24 and broke, defining broke as somebody who knows where they're going to sleep, what they're going to eat, for at least a limited amount of time, at least for the next week, where that's coming from. But if you had any financial emergency, that would probably cripple you. This is how you go from 0 to 100. This is how you go from your current situation to a point where you're financially free. Not from somebody who's done it, but from somebody who is in the same situation and is doing a little bit better now. The first thing you need to do is remove your inhibitions. Inhibition simply is something that you are doing that is not taking you towards your goal. So you want to be financially free. Anything that gets you away from that, cut out. This is the time that you spend on social media unnecessarily. I think all time spent on social media is unnecessary, and that's your business. But this is also the time you spend entertaining yourself. This is the bad habits that you have specifically. You need to remove all of these. Now, how do you do that? In terms of the stuff that's not, an explicit bad habit that you think that you really want to get rid of, let's say your social media usage, something like that. The easiest way to do this is through environmental design. Basically, you make it as hard as you can for you to do the habit, and by that you just won't do the habit because it's not easy. So for example, let's say you want to stop playing games on your phone or stop going onto Instagram. Figure out how much time you spend on Instagram. It's easy, you just download an app and it can track that for you over a day, and then after that just set a limit on the same app for Instagram to like half of that time, and then you continuously decrease that. You'll be able to get rid of the habit and you won't feel like it's a burden on you because it's happening pretty slowly. All of the work is done for you. If you can do that for any of these things, these easy habits that you can easily get rid of, do that. In terms of bad habits, let's say you have an addiction to something. With this, you need to do a little bit more than just environmental design. The first thing that you want to do is to be able to track how much you are doing of the habit, so you have a read on how bad it is. So, because if you don't know where you are right now, you won't be able to tell that you're improving. So first, track. Figure out how much of the habit you're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Then you implement strategies to be able to get rid of the habit. The main one is environmental design. Just make it super hard for you to do the bad thing that you're doing. And you won't get rid of the habit immediately, and this is where tracking comes in. But slowly over time, you'll see that you're doing it less and less and less. And this gives you motivation to continue trying to get rid of the bad habit, and it becomes a cascade effect. The second thing that you need to do is organize your efforts. Everyone has bouts of motivation, but what happens is you have a bout of motivation to do thing X. You do it super hard for some time, but then because you didn't exactly plan how you're going to get from 0 to 100, or at least your plan was unrealistic or something of this one, what happens is you end up doing too much. Basically, you're like a guy who's taking a run and you've been running too long and now you've stopped and you can't even walk towards the goal anymore. You just need to stop and you're panting and stuff like that. That's what happens to most people. So let's say you want to become fit. Instead of deciding, hey, I'm gonna work out for 2 hours 5 times a week until I'm fit, knowing that you work out for 0 minutes a day, what you do is you say you're going to do 10 push-ups. So the guy who went from 0 to working out for 2 hours 5 times a week is going to do that for maybe 3 weeks. But you, because you said you're going to do 5 push-ups, you're going to do that for a lot longer because it's just much easier. And then once you're able to do that consistently, you make a small step forward. So you say 6 push-ups, small step forward, 10, small step forward, 15, 20, and then you can start having a whole workout. Eventually you'll get to the point where you're doing 5 2-hour workouts in a week. But compared to that guy who was able to do it for 3 weeks, even though in the beginning he looked like he was doing much better than you. Now you'll be like years ahead of him. So don't go headlong into something without planning how you're going to be able to consistently continue doing the thing. It's like an army. Yeah. Understand how much your forces can take and send them to where they will do the most damage. The third thing that you need to do is to take care of your people. Basically, being rich is about providing the most value to most people. So the more value you can provide to people, the richer that you're going to become. And this is not just in terms of business, this is a general rule. So, starting from you, your nuclear family, take care of it. Make sure that fights are not erupting. Make sure everybody is happy, stuff like that. Just do as much good as you can in terms of them, and then you'll expand. And you can say to your neighborhood, and then you expand, and you say the people who you belong to. For me, that's like the Muslims. For something else, that will be whoever. Take care of your people, because in the end, what really matters is legacy. I heard this saying in a Warhammer book: the flesh is weak, but deeds endure. You need to make sure that you're providing so much value to people, even after you die. Your deeds or the good that you've provided is still going on. To have that leverage, so much leverage, even after you die, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter if you become rich or whatever, if as soon as you die, it's just a problem. Like, everybody knows there's a king in your head, absolute Giga Chat, and as soon as he died, there was like 6 wars, millions of people died, because he did not make sure that what he was doing could last after him, could go on without him. That is something that you need to have in mind. Okay, you're dealing with a higher order problem. If you're able to deal with a higher order problem, the whole thing of being rich is gonna come by itself. Cascade effect. So yeah, from a person who's only recently not broke, those are my 3 tips. If you like the video, subscribe, comment, etc. And I'll see you in the next one.